Hello, everybody. Mr. Hollywood here today with the 2024 Jeep Wrangler Willys 4xe Unlimited 4-door. Now, this puppy is just beautiful. For 2024, you will see some improvements, but they have not veered away from the traditional awesome, rugged look of the Wrangler. You still have that same design, that loved and trusty design, but you do have some nice improvements, some highlights for the electric or the PHEVs. You have the blue highlights added to really contrast and complement the rest of the vehicle. You have an amazing grille up front. If you peek closely enough, you will see some extras here. You also see the wonderful LEDs, high def, so you can see that road in front of you, whether it's off the road or on the road, you're always in good sight. You have these trusty bumpers, which are reinforced from the back so that you have that cover here. You got beautiful finishes everywhere. And of course, because it is the PHEV, you'll see the blue highlights all around the vehicle, like I mentioned. You have your trail rated. By the way, this is a really important symbol for Jeep. This means that these kinds of vehicles are tested on a particular trail that is designed to be very complex and difficult for most to overcome. And this vehicle can handle all the challenges up there. It is, of course, an off-road vehicle first and foremost, but we know a lot of people like to have these to go through the city. Some of these cities nowadays have potholes big enough where off-road vehicles are required. So this is truly an awesome combination of luxury, comfort, and ruggedness. If you do go for the Willys is oriented to be more off the trail than on the road. This isn't a model typically designed and used to be going for those regular commutes, which is why you have the more rugged outdoor tires. You have the nice rims to complement it with a low profile. They're black finish, which makes them look really nice. You have, of course, the fan favorite removable doors, all four. You have a three split roof, so you have two pieces in the front and a larger piece in the back. You can always remove these two pieces by yourself. We do recommend getting assistance for the bigger piece. So we're gonna have the camera zoom in. You got some handles there. It's really easy. Once we get inside the vehicle, I'll actually show you guys how to do that. The back piece is one large piece. You need at least two people to remove this. It's not an easy job on your own. It's simple, but it does require some weight. So unless you're Dwayne The Rock Johnson and you can hunker over it, you might need some assistance from a friend. Phone a friend. Don't get yourself in danger. There's glass. We don't want you to injure yourself. Of course, another main feature of the Wrangler is the wonderful spare tire on the back. Now you have a nice camera built into in the middle here. You don't have to worry. It is secure. You have a special kind of screwdriver here to unlock that so that you can remove it. So people won't just be able to kidnap your camera. It's awesome. It's great. If you look in the back, what I love about the Wranglers in particular is that even though they're not super massive, they optimize space due to their squared body design. Look how much space you have in that trunk. This is with all the seats not folded, they're upright, right? And you still have so much extra space. Of course, if you're familiar with the Wranglers, you know that the interior is designed to be able to get wet a little bit. So if you remove the roof and it rains, you don't have to panic. It's not the end. It will survive. It's meant for that, right? And then you have your wonderful tailgate that opens to the right, which I actually really like for maneuvering stuff out because I never bang my head in here. But if you're not over, you have to be like 6'5" to hit this. I'm about 6 feet tall, so you don't have to worry too much there. You have your wonderful glass window here. You don't have to take it out and open it if you don't want to, just to get into the trunk. So I do appreciate that quite a bit. If we open this up, you'll see, and I like this, and this is very important. You have two things here. You have a little secret bin here that you can hide some stuff in, and it's got a plug here that you can pull out to drain it. So if there's water in here from the rain, you can drain this out through here. And then, and this is very important, when you remove the roof or the doors or any pieces from the car, you do have spots to house your screws, door hinges, roof, and windshield. That way you never lose them, because I know when you take out screws, we tend to just throw them somewhere. They get lost. This is a perfect way to keep it organized. Underneath here, you can actually open this, take out the jack and stand to be able to change your tire. Though, keep in mind, these are pretty big tires, so you may want some assistance. Again, you will see the blue design throughout. I'm just highlighting some more spaces where they are. And you will notice that you also have the blue tail hook in here. So if you need to be able to tow it out or pull it out of a situation or help somebody get out of a situation, you can do that. Other cool thing that you will have right here is your fuel gauge, which is either push or there's a button by the door. We'll go ahead and unlock it there. They have changed that now. So this used to be something where you had to unlock it yourself. You could just press it and it would unlock. But people did not appreciate it. People could get access to their gas tank that easy. So you see, I just opened that. So now it is protected. That way you don't have to worry about somebody pouring stuff in your gas tank. It does lock with the vehicle. But since you're going to be using this is a PHEV, which means it's a part-time hybrid vehicle. So what you can do, of course, is charge it up and save yourself a lot of money on gas. This thing gets 49 miles MPGE, so it's miles per gallon equivalent with electricity. So if we plug this in, it's pretty easy. It's a very standard plug. You can get it at most chargers. You see it even has an indicator there for where you're currently standing. So you can pull it out. If you've ever been at a charging station, you know this is pretty standard and pretty easy to do. So you will love that. I appreciate that a lot. But having said that, let's go inside. Let me show you the interior of this vehicle so you guys can see some things. Before we hop into the front, I do want to show you the space in the back. I'm actually very pleasantly surprised at how much room there is. So you might want to keep in mind that if you are taller, you might bang your head. And if you are older, this is a pretty high step up. So be mindful when you're buying these. If you're carrying your great grandma all the time in the back, you may want to opt for one version that has smaller profile tires. So you'll see I'm about 6 feet. So I still have some room for my knees here. I still have some room for my head here. There's a speaker right there. And that's, by the way, why they're positioned here, because the doors can be removed so you can be going through. You have a nice handle to help you get in and out of the vehicle and to hold on to when the road gets bumpy. So you might want to grab onto that whenever you go. The 4xe is the electric features, but you also notice some Willys features. This is a combo, right? The Willys features that are here are those black wheels. You got the nice finish over here on the bottom. This protects your vehicle whenever you're going off-road so you don't dent the doors or ding them. So it's a lot of those more rugged features on the Willys. It's much like a budget version of the Rubicon. So if you're familiar with the Rubicon, Rubicon is made for off-road. It's got a lot of those rugged features. The Willys is like an entry-level off-road edition. And this vehicle is right about 50,000 MSRP. So it's a lot of options. So let's hop inside. Let's show you those toys. There's some awesome upgrades to the interior. See you inside. So welcome to the interior of the 2024 Jeep Wrangler 4xe Willys Wheeler. As I mentioned and promised, I'll show you a little bit about the roof. So to remove the front pieces, it's actually really simple. You have these little things here. You just tug on them, right? Unlock them all. There's 3 of them. And then this thing to jack it up. And then you just push it up and pull it out. I'm going to do that right now because we're already in and I want to show you the rest. But this is super simple. It is a one-man job. The rest, the back, again, 2 people is what you want to do. Once you remove it, you still have this coverage here, so you don't have to worry about your safety. You got a nice frame there. For the upgrades, what you will see is they've changed the design. You can actually touch this and feel a nice finish on it. You can see there's an upgraded 12 point, I believe it's 12.2 inch touchscreen, really large, so you can see everything. I'm going to turn the car on so you guys can see that. You'll see how awesome this is, right? Huge. We're talking massive, right? All the way display, and you have now they've optimized it. It used to be on the bottom, now it's on the left-hand side, so it's easy to reach from the steering wheel. You want to see your vehicle, you can view your rear view camera right here. You want to go right ahead and see that even when you're going forward, maybe you want to see a trailer, hook something up, etc. You have the home button right there. This is where you would usually end up, and you can set it up so that you have your CarPlay or Android Auto and your phone at the same time, so you can see. You can actually customize these to your preference. So you see some pitch and roll things there, some charge information, your engine, your battery, your climate, everything's right there. And you can customize these too. You have a little edit button so you can choose what's there. So I like personally, in mine, I like the now playing music on one side and the Apple Maps on the other. So you can choose to do that. So I will always go, this is, you see which widget you're choosing. You can see that we're going to choose the phone favorites or now playing, or we can do power flow. Let's see, you want to do that. You can also, if you don't like having 2 screens, too much information, you can remove a widget, and then you will have just one when you stretch it out over. So right, we can do that, and it will show you the whole display. So you have your sources, music, etc. Sirius radio, Bluetooth, of course, Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay, which is wireless, pretty awesome. You have your comfort controls for your air conditioning, which is right there. Really awesome, really cool. Lots of powers on this. So what I mean by that, it's the Jeep brand knows you might take off the roof, you might open the windows, you might go to Antarctica, you might go to Africa. They know that you might get overheated or too cold. So I have to tell you, when you pump the AC up, it goes. I mean, this is really fast to cold and really fast to heat when you turn it up. Now you will notice that you have a duplication here. So you can do it on the screen. You can control the temperatures for the passengers, This, by the way, saves a lot of marriages. You have the congruence on who wants hot, who wants cold. And then you also have the analog buttons below. So if you don't want to mess with the screen, you want to be on your music and still change your climate, you don't have to switch the screen. You can just hop in here conveniently and do it through all these traditional old school buttons, which is awesome in my opinion. These are designed to be rugged. So even if you have gloves on because you're off-roading, you're going crazy, you can still hit them and not have problems. Your phone connectivity, of course, you can do that. And you have your Apple CarPlay, which mimics your screen onto the screen here. It's pretty awesome. You also have your 7-inch screen dashboard right here that tells you fuel level, charge level, tells you how fast you're going. You can change the view on here too to show you messages, music, etc. So you can control a lot of things from this screen and from the steering wheel. What I do love about Jeeps a lot is that they've thought about ergonomics to a very high level extent, and you will have the buttons on the back here for changing volume and for changing the music settings. So you don't have to do this to go back and forth. You can do it all from the back while holding your steering wheel in the proper race car driver position. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with the different hand positions. You got the farmer and the gangster, right? Depending, or you have the soccer mom, you have the race car driver, and you have the new student driver, right? You want to hold it here, then you have those buttons right there too. You also notice there's a lot of buttons on the front. These are your cruise control and adaptive cruise control. What adaptive cruise control does is when you're driving, you can choose a distance and it will follow a car at that distance, slowing down and speeding up for you so you don't have to get restless foot syndrome and your foot doesn't have to go back and forth on the stoplight, which is nice. And then you have your Bluetooth controls on the other. You also see your window controls are over here. You have your auxiliary buttons, your off-road trail controls right here as well, where you can lock your axle. You have your auxiliary plugins if you want to plug in additional features. You have your changing of gears, your gear shifter right there, and you do have your four-wheel drive manual controls here, so you can choose what you're using. I like the fact that you have the full control of it. I also like the fact that they do have covers for this. Remember how I mentioned there's a plug because these can get wet? So when you take this off, people often panic, what happens to my vehicle? Everything is made so that you don't have to stress, right? That's why this is covered. You will see there's a little rubber band around it to cover it from wetness. So you have your plug-in, your USB-C, USB, and aux plug. You also have the same thing, again, with that rubber finish around for the power. So you don't have to worry about that getting too wet. You have your off-road plus button right there. When you press it, indicates, it tells you what you need to do to get that going. The other cool feature about the Wranglers is they do have the key that's a remote fob. You don't have to worry about removing the fob. There's a pop-up key like a switchblade style, and it does lock the glove box. And why you want to do that is because, well, if you take the doors off, what is to protect your stuff? This is a pretty good glove box, so you have nice size storage. Also, here you have the two cup holders, and this is, by the way, a secret that a lot of people know about, is that the vehicle is actually designed to house the key right in the middle here so that you don't lose track of it. Now, obviously, you wouldn't have this little key track that we have here, but it's nice and neat in the middle while you can still use your cup holders. I appreciate that a lot. And then you have a huge top level here, little shelf for some goodies, and there's a second lever. You can pull that up, and you have even more storage down there. And this storage is pretty deep. You can see my hand go in there. There's another USB plug right there. So you have a lot of storage here, a lot of space. The reason I'm showing this is because there's also a lock right here. And this is not usual in vehicles. They usually lock the glove box, but not this box. This is because, again, remove the roof, remove the doors. How do you protect your stuff? Well, you lock it with your key, and your stuff is safe and sound. Nobody can take your phone or whatever items you want to put in there. So keep that in mind. This is pretty cool. In the back, you have your standard seats. You have the little fold down for some cup holders. A lot of room, as I showed you earlier. This is truly an awesome vehicle. What strikes me a lot, and a lot of people my age find it crazy right now, is how small the engine is. It's a 2.0 liter. Meaning this is a 4-cylinder engine. But because it is PHEV, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting the fact that you can stop and fill up at a gas station at any point in time, and you can plug in at home and get some extra mileage. But you're also getting instant power delivery from that electric part of the vehicle, and you're getting the power at the higher end spectrum of RPMs with the gas engine. So that's what's awesome about it. If you want this vehicle, if you want a vehicle like this, come to Jack Phelan, ask for Sebastian Novak. He will take care of you every step of the way. You can order one from the factory, you can order one from scratch, you can build it how you like it, or we can help you find it. And if you don't want to step outside your house and still get one, call us up, talk to Sebastian, and we'll talk about how we can get it delivered to your home. There's a little lineup here coming up on the screen for you right now. It's going to read the phone number to call Sebastian. Go ahead, give him a buzz. Like this video, subscribe to this channel for more so we can help you get started in your vehicle process. Thank you so much for watching. Mr. Hollywood out.